filmmakers, they're the same. They're all the same.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Shoup Show. Today, as our guest, we have Saraya Clayton.
That's me. Hi. Ooh, I made it. This is the height of
Uh,
my career. I'm being so fucking for real. Sorry.
Saraya, of course, plays the main character in Titans Inferno. She plays Sophia and is very soon, very shortly, going to AMDA in LA. Yeah, so that's exciting. She's gonna be a big time actress and not forget about us on the not forget about the pod not the podcast. Podcast is going to be gone by then, but
Titans Inferno will still be on my resume in 10 years.
nice.
It'll be at the top. That's all my resume is right now.
That's all your resume is.
Yeah, like like right now, Quintet Productions, Quintet Productions, Quintet Productions. It's the whole thing. Quintet Productions, Matthew Shoup. It's like Titans Inferno, Murder Scene 1, September is the Month of Love, and like a commercial I did when I was 10.
Nice.
So that's nice. Anyway,
So today, what I thought we'd talk about is we'll go down a list of each of our favorite movies and explain why they're our favorite movies.
oh my God. Okay, sure. I love it. Let's do it.
Okay.
You want to go first?
Sure. Okay.
Okay.
So my all-time favorite movie of all time is The Wizard of Oz. I love it so much. The first time I ever saw The Wizard of Oz, I think I was definitely in elementary school. And I'd seen it, and then I remember in grade 4 we actually reread the book in class, like the one for Wizard of Oz, like the original, like 1909 book, whatever it was,
Oh,
and and then we watched the movie afterwards, and definitely when we watched the movie afterwards, like in class, that was my first real memory of watching it, and I remember just like loving it. And then I don't know, I've just loved it ever since. Like I was in a musical production of The Wizard of Oz in middle school. I played
what did you
the
play?
I played the Cowardly Lion.
Yes, I love the way he goes.
I'll put you one paw tied behind my back. I'll put you 7 1 foot. I'll put you with my eyes closed.
Yeah, I had to do that.
I love it. I should have been there.
Shucks, folks. I'm speechless.
And yeah, and I've loved it ever since. I still watch it at least once or twice a year. Like I just think it's just like it's the most magical movie ever. No matter how old you get, like it's always going to be
Yeah,
magical. Like it's just
yeah.
it's the absolute like beauty of film, because like it all looks fake, right? Like it all looks like the backdrop, it's a painted wall, but that's what makes it so
But,
magical. And
but for the time,
yeah, yeah,
that was like magic.
yeah, and I just love those shots, like those big sweeping crane shots that they have, and then you but you can kind of tell the background's fake, and it just gives it this like set Hollywood, big Hollywood vibe. And I wish more movies were like that nowadays. I honestly do. I wish we had more movies like that.
Because sometimes when a movie looks too real, it's so weird that when it gets like too real, I'm like, now I know, no, it's fake.
Yeah,
It's like when you saw like the painted set, it's like, aw,
yeah,
like
exactly.
and aw, it's so creative. It's like it's not like CGI, which is still cool,
Hmm.
but it's like, okay, well, I know you're not actually in space, so
Yeah,
whatever. Um, the Wicked movie's coming out. I don't know
I
how.
know.
I wonder. I'm wondering how. I love that musical.
Mm.
That's amazing. That show is wonderful, and it's a good story. I wonder how the movie's gonna play out.
Looks like it'd be good.
I think
I
it's
think
gonna
it'll
be.
be good. I don't think it'll be bad. Like I definitely think it'll be good.
Yeah.
I just I don't know. I'm worried that it's gonna look too modern. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Just like I don't want it to be the wrong vibe. And I think the way that they casted Ariana Grande as Glinda was really cool because
Mhm.
now you're gonna have people that aren't theater kids want to go see it because
Yeah.
Ariana's in it, which I think is actually great because honestly, maybe that was a good choice to make.
Hmm.
But and she can sing like a bird,
Yeah.
so he definitely like fits that.
Mhm.
So I also think it's gonna be good. But there's like a couple like, okay, like don't ruin it.
Mhm. Yeah.
Don't ruin it. Like, but I think they're gonna be fine. I think they definitely know what they're doing. It looks like they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, putting my 10 in order is gonna be hard. I don't
Okay.
I don't know what my all-time favorite movie is.
Hmm.
The movie, okay, what's the movie I've seen like most in my life? Maybe like, oh my God, I watched Harry Potter, Prisoner of Azkaban at least 6 billion times, especially during COVID.
Yeah.
That was all I could watch. The energy, the visuals, the rainy like scenes, and like I don't know, that movie specifically, that energy was just amazing. I'm so tempted to just do like, okay, the top 8 are like all 8 of those movies, and then I'll pick 2 other ones. But I'm not gonna do that because I know there's more out there for me. But Prisoner of Azkaban, beautiful. And like middle of COVID when Draco Malfoy was blowing up on TikTok for some reason, that was like, the that feeling will never be matched. So I think that really does something to me. He really did. And now I look at pictures of Draco Malfoy, I'm like, what the was uh not sure why. I was a little crazy there. Anyway, that's probably the movie I've seen most of my life. I've seen that so many times.
Mm.
Hold a dear place in my heart, I think. We'll go with that actually. I could watch that any day.
Yeah. I find that that's the one that people often say is their favorite, Prisoner of Azkaban.
Yeah, it's just like so different from the other ones. And it was the first one that like because the first two movies were directed by Christopher Columbus and they were so like magical and fuzzy and warm and suddenly it was also the first one without Voldemort, Prisoner of Azkaban, like directly. And there's a new like director and it was just a
Alfonso
new
Cuarón.
yeah. Um and he was really amazing. I watch like sometimes I've seen like behind the scenes stuff with him and the kids, and it's like so sweet. Like it's always so sweet to watch like them because they're like my favorite movies of all time. But I was like, they were just babies. Also, I wasn't born yet, but I'm like, oh, they're like 30 now. Like you guys were so cute. They're like double my age. No, it's yeah, it's a good one. Okay, next in line.
Okay. My second up is Goodfellas.
Hmm.
It's a mob movie from 1990, directed by Martin Scorsese, starring Ray Liotta, Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci. It's just, oh, I've seen that movie so many times. It's just so rewatchable. It's just so, oh, I love like the feel. It just it it makes the however long, like 2 hours, 2.5 hours, however long it is. It makes it feel like half an hour. Like it moves by at a speedy breakneck pace because it has to cover the like 30, was it is 3 decades or so, 30 years of the main character's life, of Henry Hill's life.
Nice.
And
Never
it's
seen
just
it.
you would like it. It's really good. It's really really good. Like I've watched it so many times. It's like the acting, the music. The music is very very well done in that movie. It's all like needle drop, so it's all like songs. It's not actual like score.
Oh, sick.
The way that some of like there's this very famous sequence. I won't spoil it for you, but I mean like it's from 1990, but whatever. And it's set to this song, and it's just like, oh, whenever I hear that song, I'll forever just think of that scene now. And I love when movies can
Nice.
do that. Can just like whenever, because it's just chosen so well, they'll just forever make you think of that scene when you hear that song now.
Yeah. 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 Okay. It's been my turn. It's, I was gonna say something about songs reminding you of movies, and all I could think about was like Shrek. It's not even All Star. It's not even All Star, and do you, I don't remember. Okay, the second. Okay, wait. I'm literally opening Spotify. The second
From
movie,
like
Shrek
holding out on a
2.
hero, like
No,
at the
not that
end.
one.
No.
No, no, no. It's like at the beginning. Accidentally in love. That one. That's a good one. And I hear Pixar. No, that's not. That's DreamWorks. Whoa,
DreamWorks.
DreamWorks. I meant DreamWorks. Big fan. Um, DreamWorks has like abnormally good music in
Mhm.
like in and it's not good in the way like Disney is good. Like Disney has really good music too, but it's so different than DreamWorks. Like Over the Hedge. You ever
Yeah.
seen Over the Hedge? Love that movie. It's just like the vibe is so much different. It always has just the best music. Those are like songs, not
Yeah.
like score usually.
Yeah.
Next movie. Um yeah, I can't do them in order. I watched
Okay.
Enola Holmes
Okay.
when it first came out with Millie Bobby Brown because she was in Stranger Things, and I was like, I know her. So I watched that, and that was like a cultural reset. That was a new personality. That was a new era for me. It's such a cute little movie. It's like it was, when did it come out? It was probably between like season 3 and 4 of Stranger, I'm guessing. But it's so cute, and it's also how my crush for Louis Partridge started. Different conversation. But I saw that movie and it was so amazing. Sherlock Holmes' sister. I was like, yes, feminism, here for women, all that stuff. And but she was so good and she was so relatable and it was like so cool. And also Henry Cavill plays Sherlock Holmes
Yeah.
and he was just wonderful at that too. And it was so emotional. And the other brother, Mycroft,
Hmm.
God, you hate him so much, but you're like, that's kind of like how it was. And like I always hate myself for saying that, like that's just the times, like he but also it kind of was. Kind of was like that was genuinely how he thought, like wanting to just like Enola was his ward, like he can only choose what she does, like she has to go to, I don't remember what it's called, like manner school to learn your manners as a woman. Like mm,
Mm.
I love that movie. The vibe is there and it's so she's so badass, but she's also so cute. That's my little ramble for my movie. Your turn.
Okay. My next one probably gonna be Black Swan.
Okay, love it.
Have you ever seen it?
No.
Okay. So Black Swan, it's a movie from the 2000s. It stars Natalie Portman as a ballerina, like a professional ballerina in like a New York ballet company, and she she gets the part of the Swan Queen in like Swan Lake, like the ballet. And
Yeah.
if you've never seen it, go into it completely blind and you'll be very pleasantly surprised. But just know that some weird stuff starts happening when as she gets further and further into the role of the Swan Queen and her life.
Honestly, like I know that I was just gonna make a little comment. Like I know the movie exists and I like heard
Mhm.
I've like I don't know. I've seen little clips of it, but I don't actually know like the whole story.
Mhm.
Like what actually happens. That was
Yeah.
it.
It is, I'll say this though, it is definitely one of those kind of mindfuck movies. Like it definitely does mess with your head and like you have to decide what's real and not real.
Love that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm definitely gonna watch that one. I
Mm.
love those kind of movies.
Okay. If you want like a really the one that messed with my head the most movie, it's on Netflix. It's not on my list. But there's this movie on Netflix called I'm Thinking of Ending Things.
Okay.
And oh
Write this
my
down.
God, it is crazy. Like just absolutely it all makes sense at the end, somewhat. And then once you think about it backwards, it's like, okay, I get how everything was actually working now. But it when you're watching it the first time through, you're like, um,
Like what
what's going on? And
What
I'm not
that
going to say
mean?
anything about the movie because if you go into it completely blind, it's more fun that way. So I'm not going to tell you anything absolutely about it. Don't even read the description. Just watch the movie.
Just do it.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
if you don't like slow movies, don't watch it. But if you can stand a slow burn, which I think that there are very good slow burns out there,
I love
you'll probably have a
slow burn romance.
you'll probably have a good time with this movie though. It is very weird. I'll warn you, it's very very weird.
Love it. You know weird movies. You heard of that movie Tusk?
Yep,
The
yep.
one where
Kevin Smith.
the guy turns
Yep.
into a. I have never seen it, but I I watched the trailer. I knew that this movie existed. It's like a Canadian movie, right? And
Okay.
I was like, all right. I was laughing the whole time. Like I feel like I'm laughing now, but I feel like if I actually watched it, I'd actually probably like not sleep. Because not even that it's like scary, it's just like why
Yeah.
make that? Like why make this movie? Also, why does he look like that? Like the picture of him as a walrus, and he's like, he's like trying to make walrus noises. Yeah. How many did I say so far? I said two.
Yeah.
I said Harry Potter. I said Enola Holmes. My next one. Oh my God, what have I been watching recently that's like really good? I'm only thinking of shows like
Mm.
what if I said a show that I really like? Um, I don't know if this is like favorite of all time. I'm gonna say a show, but it's okay on Netflix. How to Build a Sex Room,
Yeah, I've heard
and
of
it's
that
a
show.
reality TV show, but it's so fucking good. It's actually so good. Shake your head and watch it. Like there's like closets and shit, and they're beautiful rooms. These are like beautiful like spaces, and then you have like I remember seeing this on my like Netflix feed. I guess it was like in your like recommended or like top picks today when it first came out, and I was like, what is this?
Mm.
I am not watching that. That seems so weird.
Mm.
And I watched it like last week, and like I'm gonna put it on my list just because it's just wonderful. I said Harry Potter. I said Enola Holmes, and I said sex room. Next question.
See,
Your turn. Top that. Top that answer, Matthew. That was a beautiful answer.
I'm so conflicted on whether or not I'm gonna leave that in because my parents watch this show. So I don't know if I'm gonna leave that in or not.
Do you want me to talk more about how to build a sex room, or you
No,
want to
I'll go,
that,
I'll go,
or-
I'll go, I'll go, I'll go, I'll go. Should I do a TV show or should I do a movie? Since you did a TV show, I'll even it out and I'll do a TV show.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, my favorite TV show of all time is The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
solid choice.
Of
Amazing.
all time. I've seen that show literally 50 times over. And yeah, I don't think I even need to go into detail. Like,
I just that I know.
yeah,
I know that one.
yeah.
That's a good one. I remember when it used to be on like they aired it on Family Channel for a while. Like after Disney,
Oh,
like
really?
Disney was done at like 9 p.m. They'd put on the Fresh Prince. And I was like, yeah, I gotta watch TV, Mom. It's not my bedtime. I gotta watch The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And she'd watch it with me. And it was funny. It is a good show.
Mhm.
It's a classic.
I remember watching it like because I remember it was on Netflix and I got Netflix in like when I was in like grade 4 or something or grade 3, grade 4, whatever. And
Is Netflix that old?
Netflix is that old, yeah.
It feels newer than that.
I know. But yeah, I think it was grade 4 that I started watching it. And I just, oh my God, I fell in love with it immediately. I've literally seen that show 50 times over. Like sometimes I would be writing scripts and I just, not sometimes, a lot of the times, like especially the early days of me writing scripts, I would be writing scripts and just have Fresh Prince on in the background and just like writing.
Nice.
It informed a lot of my humor and the way that I write humor. Like it just, I could talk for hours about the Fresh Prince. but I won't. Maybe one day I'll do a podcast all about the Fresh Prince and how much I love it. Um, but I'll leave it at that for now.
I really want to say like good, like good ones, like ooh, I want to come out here and be like Dune. Like when I saw Dune, like I want to say like award-winning movie, but like all I'm thinking of was like Diary of a Wimpy Kid, like Descendants, like that random ass movies. So I guess actually Diary of a Wimpy Kid, whole thing. That's what I'm gonna say. That's kind of embarrassing, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Um, Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I don't know what I have the books. Actually, I only recently got into no, it's fine. I only recently just got into it. I have what books do I have? I have two versions of Diaper Overload, which is one of the newest ones because two people got me them for Christmas, so now I have two copies. I also have I can't see anything. I have Double Down. I have and then a movie diary. And they are sat beside 50 Shades of Grey on my bookshelf. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, it's a very wide array of literature. Um, I have I'm just gonna take a second. You know what a good book is?
What book?
Hold on. This Her Heart for a Compass. It is very good. I my little Ron Weasley bookmark. It's by an actual like most famous former members of the British royal family, Sarah Ferguson, Duchess of York. But yeah, she's like she's a little I guess Duchess is her title. It's been a while since I continued, but yeah, the main character, she's just like she doesn't want to marry him and she kind of like runs away from there a little night and then she comes back and her family's like, "You're a disgrace." I love a good like running away from your marriage trope. That's that's like peak. That's a wonderful story. And I got like Harry Potter, I got Hunger Games, Divergent, um, Percy Jackson, which I haven't finished. I'm excited for that show though.
You haven't finished it yet?
Twilight. No, the Percy
What
Jackson
book you
books I
on?
haven't finished. Uh, the third one.
Third one? Okay. That's a good one. Yeah. I remember I read all of them over the course of grade 4 and grade 5. My cousin lent me all of them, my older cousin, she lent me all of them. And I read them over the course. It took me 2 years, but I read them over the course of 2 years. I would stay up so late reading them. I remember just absolutely loving them. But yeah, I remember liking the third one. The third one was cool.
I'm in the middle of so many books. I'm like, I need to just like pick one. I can't
Yeah.
finish it because it's like I don't even remember what's going on in the plot by the time I circle back to the one I was reading a month ago. And the Twilight books too. I love those movies because they're so bad in a good way. And it's
Mm,
great. But the books were like kind of boring.
really? They're so long. Like
Yeah.
I see them and they're so thick.
This much of the book is just her going to school. Like I went to school and Edward wasn't there. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. And I read this in grade 10 for my English assignment because English book reports are so boring sometimes, especially when the teacher picks a book
Yeah.
and they're like, read Of Mice and Men, and I'm like, no. And then I don't read it. And so she's like, when you get to pick your own book, I was like, okay. And I've never read it before, and I was like, this is basically fan fiction, so I might as well pick something I'm gonna like. So I did. Like she literally just Edward in the sunlight was shocking, like we know. And then she goes back to school, and then he says he's a monster. And then she's like, no, I love you. And then that happens for about 76 more pages. And then they might fight for a bit. They fight other vampires, and then she almost dies as a main character would. And then that's it. But yeah, this is just I went to science and he didn't sit beside me. I'm gonna kill myself. Um, oh, that's nice. Also from Blood and Ash. I just started it, but I've heard good things. I don't remember whose turn it is. I talked for a long time.
My turn because you said Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and then you started on the book.
From the books, okay.
Yeah. Okay. My next movie is Boys in the Hood. I love that movie. It has such a heart to it. It's so. I know it's such an old movie, but I'm still not going to spoil it because I don't think that movie deserves to be spoiled at all. And
You should
so,
just tell me the entire plot of all these movies.
but there's a certain point in the movie that just it's like if you don't, I don't know, if you don't cry at that part, you don't have a soul. Like really, yeah. But no, it's just such a good movie. Yeah, yeah. That's all I really have to say.
Um, we could say, I kind of said this earlier, but like Twilight, they're so bad. They're so good. So good. Like the first one, the movies, well, obviously it's like it's not as draining as the books because there's you can like, you can see what's going on. Um, but even in the movies though, she just goes to school for a while and she's like, "Hey," and he just he's like, I don't want to talk to you, but then she is in love with him apparently. But it's good because it's dramatic and it's vampires and it's weird little romances and the whole story is totally absurd. So it's amazing. But like the aesthetic of it is also really pretty. Just separating that from the rest of the actual show. Um, I'll put Twilight on there. Twilight's
Okay.
on the list. And also Robert Pattinson. It's my guy. Your turn, Matt Shoup.
Okay. Um,
I've lost count again.
my next one is the original 1978 Halloween by John Carpenter.
Nice.
It is just
Mm-hmm.
it's a classic for a
Amen.
reason. It was probably one of the first horror movies that I ever watched. If not the first horror movie that I ever actually watched. I used to be terrified of horror movies, absolutely terrified. I would refuse to watch them, like at all. And then I watched Halloween, and it was just like, oh my! It was on TV. Okay, so it was on TV, and then I was about, I don't know, maybe like half an hour in, I guess it would be. It was when Michael Myers shows up at the school, and then he's stalking Tommy. And as he's walking around the school, and you just see like Michael walking along the fence as Tommy's walking, as the kids walking along the yard and just like following. And I was just like, okay, this is scary, but it's like I'm interested, and like it's not as like I don't want to like run away, like I don't want to like like had, but like oh, during the climax of that movie when Michael's chasing Laurie, I was absolutely yelling at the screen, yelling at her like he's behind you. But yeah, I just watched it so many times since, and there's nothing I can really say about it that hasn't been said about it before. Like it's a classic for a reason, and I it's just such a good movie and so simple in a way, like so simple
Yeah.
in a way. It's very simple, but it's sometimes simple is best. Like not saying simple, obviously there's like complex parts to it, but it's very fairly
It's not too
straightforward.
much,
Yeah, it's fairly
you know?
straightforward. It's fairly low budget, like takes place in like a neighborhood, a school, sides of highways, like it's not a big
Yeah.
huge thing. It's this little contained thing, and it's just but it creates this atmosphere that just it you know
Yeah. I love that. Horror movies with like good plots
mm,
are the best. Because I used to like hate them too. Well, obviously, like when you're younger, I don't want to
yeah
watch anything scary. Everything scares
yeah
me. But we watched me and my boyfriend Max, we watched what was it? Was it The Conjuring? I think we
mm,
watched The Conjuring. A long time ago we watched the whole Insidious series and that was good. But it's it's we watched The Conjuring. I think we decided to go in order of release. We were thinking of going in order of like when they take place because
okay
there's like actually a lot in that. There's so many in that universe. We thought that it makes sense to go in order of release so then things will make sense. They came out for that way for a reason, you know. So we went like that, and it was like freaky, but there was like good plot. I was like, okay, you know, I did actually really like the story, and there's much more to come. There's like covers like centuries or something. Like it goes over a big timeline, which is really cool. Speaking of scary things, I'm gonna bring it up, but it's called Orchard, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking, I don't know, the title might change. But yes, the analog horror series. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What
Mm-hmm.
about it? Good? You
That's all
like
I gotta
it?
say. It is like might be my favorite thing.
That I've ever
Because
done?
I think so. Because one of I remember telling you this before, but the first time I saw it, I'm sitting in my bed. I'm just like chilling. I'm on YouTube. Oh, look, Matt posted a new video. It's like 2 p.m. I'm sitting there. I watch it. I'm like, it genuinely freaked me out. Like I was genuinely did not want to get off my bed. Something is gonna reach from under my bed and grab my ankles if I stand up. Like, like that should not have scared me as much as it did. I was like genuinely freaky. So props to you because
Thank you.
I was like, I'm not gonna be scared, and I was. So amen. I do really like it.
Thank you.
This is a little side note. You're welcome.
Wait till you see some of the other ones that are planned. Hopefully they'll be a bit scarier than that one. We'll see.
Big things coming.
Yeah. What's your next pick?
I'm like looking around my room as if something's gonna help me. I have so many posters on my walls. I feel like I could pick something up. Umbrella Academy, that's a show.
Okay.
I think I need to include shows because I
That's
watch a lot
fair.
of shows as well. So, Umbrella Academy. I love that show. You seen it?
I haven't seen season 3. I saw up until the end of season 2.
Season 2 was my favorite. Season 2 specifically was my favorite. Season 1 was like an amazing intro. The vibe it created was so good. I remember you start watching it, you like obviously a new show, you don't really know what's going on. It's like, hey, let's see what this is about. It seems cool. The description was nice. And they got superpowers. Always interesting. And I just love how I don't know how to explain it. They're not casual about them having superpowers. They're very much like we're different from everybody else. But the world that they kind of build around them, I love how it's like, this is an organization about keeping the timeline as it should be, and we're gonna kill people because that's how we do that. And also, this guy's a monkey and he lives with us. Remember seeing that scene? He just walked in. I was like, "Is that a hey?" And I was like, it was so random, but I loved it. I was like, that's just how it is. What are you gonna do? I really liked it. And then the season 2 when they went to the 60s or something.
Yeah.
It got confusing a little bit with the timeline because they all got there at they all landed in different times.
Yeah.
Like Klaus was there for 3 years already before he found his family. And then I think Vanya Victor was only there for a couple days or something. Oh no. They were there for a longer time. I don't know. But it was different. That was a little confusing, but it looked beautiful. Aesthetically it was really pretty. Season 3 was also really good. I really flipped in season 3 on what character who you think you like as a character, you're wrong.
Really?
Yeah. I yeah. It's a little I'm I'm not gonna spoil it because we're not spoiling today apparently. But some characters I was like, yeah, they're cool. I wanted them to get cut from the show. Off the show. You're gone. You're done. I was like, seriously, you get so mad at people making terrible decisions, but it's also understandable because they've been through so much at this point in the plot. Um, season 1, I did not like Luther, and now Luther's just this big guy, and he's just emotional and cringy, and I support him for that. I'm with him through that.
See, I remember when I started watching it, that I recognized Luther from Merlin, which is a TV show I used to be in love with when I was younger. He played, um, I believe it was Percival, one of the Knights of the Round Table.
Cool.
And I saw him and I was like, I've seen him before. And then I IMDb'd it, and then it was him, and I was like, okay. There was no point in me telling that story at all, other than I wanted to mention Merlin because that's such a good show, and I think more people should
Yeah,
watch
do
it.
it.
Okay,
I've been wanting to watch it.
it's good. It's really good. At least I remember it being good. I have not watched it in quite a few years. But it's yeah, I always liked it. Okay, I'll do a TV show now too.
Okay.
The next show is my second favorite show of all time. Is a show called Twin Peaks. It's a show from the 90s. And it is phenomenal. Just absolutely like that original run is just some of the best TV I've ever seen. Like it's so good. It's so because it weaves through all these different genres so well, and it balances like the darkness with the comedy, and it balances the mystery with the soap opera plot lines, and like I don't even know how to describe it. It's really hard to describe the show, but basically the show is about in a small town in Washington. It's called Twin Peaks. The prom queen, like the homecoming queen, Laura Palmer, so she's very popular in the town, dies. She shows up on the um, edge of the river, wrapped in plastic, and is found dead. And then so they call in the FBI to investigate. And the FBI agent who comes to town is Special Agent Dale Cooper, who is probably one of the greatest characters television has ever given us. It balances this perfect line of like quirkiness, and because it's very much a police procedural, but also a soap opera, but also like this like black comedy, but also like a slapstick comedy at some points, but also like this super dark, gruesome murder mystery with drugs and murders and kidnappings and hostages and
Covering all the bases. I love that.
all the bases. And then there's also like supernatural elements to it. And it's so different than anything else that uh I mean, I'd recommend it to anybody. I do recommend it to everybody and anyone. I just think it's so awesome. And I'll shut up about it now.
That's how I feel after I stop talking. I'm just like going off about something I really like, and then I just stop. Sorry. You can cut out whatever you like. So I'm just keeping that in mind whenever I think I'm
No, that's
annoying.
okay. Yeah.
I'm just also
Talk
sorry
as much
if I
as you like. That's what a podcast is for, is to keep talking. Talk as much as you
literally.
like.
That's good because I get really like nervous sometimes. I'm like, I am talking so much right now. I mean, in public situations, like, socially, that's like
Yeah.
different. You can't edit that out. But
Yeah.
now it's like we're supposed to talk. That's nice.
Yeah.
Also, sorry if I looked like really weird in between that for a second. It like froze. So I was like, oh.
I could see you completely frozen, but I kept talking because I was like, maybe you'll come back in by the end, by the time I stop talking.
Okay, so it happened for both of us. Okay. I was
Yeah.
like, I hope he doesn't ask me anything by the time. I just kind of, I probably look really weird, but I just kind of went, ooh. So that's fine.
It's okay. I'll just put footage of Twin Peaks playing.
Nice. I do like when you add like little inserts. I
Mhm.
love it. My next one is The Summer I Turned Pretty. It's on Amazon Prime. It is based on the novels by Jenny Han, who is a mastermind. I got the mind of a mastermind. Um, it's when I got my mom to watch it with me, she was like, "This sounds a little like kind of like a weird show." The summer I turned pretty. She has self-confidence. Um, no, but she's like 16 or something, and it's very main character. Like she, you know what I mean? I don't know, it feels like YN, like
Okay.
like Y/N, that's who she is. Um, so she has grown up in um like every summer she goes to this beach house in Cousins, which is not a real place, but with her mom's friend. And it's always the kids and the moms. The dads aren't allowed, girls only. Um, and the main character, her name is Belly. Her name is Isabella, so they all call her Belly. Um, Belly's mom, like her friend, she has two sons. So you can imagine what the plot line is with two sons and one daughter. You can imagine the triangles that she will get. And also there's another guy that she meets one summer, hot girl summer for her. Um she's just got all these guys and she's got to choose which guys she wants to be with, and also she's finding herself or whatever. Yeah, it's good and it's just cute. It's like a good summer show. It really like I want to go to the beach whenever I watch it. I want to have a campfire. I want to walk along the beach. It literally feels like I want to go to Gimli. I want to go to Gimli. I want to walk past all the little shops and ice cream shops, and then we're gonna go to the beach.
So my next one, I think I'm gonna go with 101 Dalmatians, the animated one, of course, the original animated Disney movie. It's I loved that movie when I was a kid. I still love that movie now. I just watched it with Ava, my girlfriend, like a few months ago. We watched it and it was just as good as when I watched it when I was a kid. I just want to like live in that world. I don't know why, but like just like the world of it all looks so nice to live in. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
not like the abandoned house or anything. That looks like hell to live in. But like the rest of it, like I mean, it all looks so like nice and like I want to live in that
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
I want to be animated. I want to have 101 Dalmatians.
Who would not love to have 101 dogs of any kind?
That's true.
Oh, puppies. So cute. Yeah. That's a lot of dogs.
That's a lot of talk. Yeah.
A lot of dogs. Imagine 100 dogs in your room right now.
They would not fit.
But if you were animated,
They would fit. If I was animated, they'd fit.
if you were animated, because they would just like squish and they'd
Squished together.
elongate.
Exactly. Someone would be
Yeah.
like stacked on top of each other, like five, like a.
Yeah. And they'd be perfectly fine because you're animated. You said Disney movie, so now you got me thinking. I first like The Lion King is like a classic Disney movie, but only recently have I been like I rewatched it and I was like, this is a freaking masterpiece. Like the music, I was like, the opening number started and I was already in tears. Like it was just she's like, on the day we arrived on the I was like, I was gone. I was a goner. I'm 19 years old and I was in tears. And obviously, spoilers when the dad dies. I on the floor, dead. Also, I mean, I was having a really bad day, but so I really needed that comfort movie. But that is like a really good movie. I don't know, like I just sometimes some of those classic Disney movies, you gotta come back to them. And like when you're a kid, it's mesmerizing. It's like, oh, look, there's Disney princesses up there. And you get older and you're like, this is like a really nice movie. Not a lot of the princess movies. I'm not going back to Snow White and being like, wow, this is great. That's like all right. But like The Lion King, like yeah, that's like that like feels good. And it's like it's a really sad movie actually, but it feels good a lot. Like it's very nice. So I'll keep that on there. not the same energy as Diary of a Wimpy Kid. That is very different reasons for liking those movies. That's a feel-good movie too, but in different ways. Yeah.
Some non-movie related questions for you.
Okay, do it.
Okay. Are you excited about going to school?
No,
No?
I'm just kidding. See, I'm
Okay.
an actress. No, yeah, I am. Like very much. As I'm very excited. The location is crazy. I am uh going by myself, which is so scary. Um, but I just like, what am I gonna do? Stay here? Like I can't, you know?
Yeah.
Like even if I wasn't going like into performing arts, like if I wasn't that wasn't what path I wanted to take, I don't think I would have stayed here anyways. Um, I mean, Winnipeg is a nice spot. Like I feel like there's a lot of extra work like here. Like I feel like to be an extra, I mean.
Yeah.
Um, so that's like really nice. Like I like doing that too. Um, but like to kind of grow my portfolio, it's gonna be amazing. Um, I'll go there and I'll study and probably stay in LA for a while. Like I'm not moving back here. My dad would
Mhm.
actually murder me. I went to school in this really cool place and then came back here to just like work at Dairy Queen. And honestly, what I really want to do, I really want to like move to like Europe or something. Something like Scotland or anywhere else. Like I want to live in Europe for a long time when I like
Okay.
feel like I'm ready to. And also like can you imagine doing theater like in London? That'd
Yeah.
be so cool. That's a whole other like scene, like a whole other it's gonna feel like a whole other industry. But that would be cool. That's what I really want to do. The question was, are you excited to leave? And I gave you my life plan. But
That's okay. That's okay. Are you like which do you like better? Screen acting or stage acting?
that is an amazing question. And I think about that all the time. And I've been asked
Mhm.
that at like scholarship interviews.
Oh yeah.
Um, and just by people, like just why not? I the thing about stage acting is that you're getting that immediate response from an audience all the time.
Mm.
With film acting, I mean, most of my experience has been with you. So
Yeah.
there's that. So, but
It's not
so
exactly
it's
like I run
obviously
like
great.
a full-on professional set. Like you won't know until you're on those big sets like how that actual screen acting works. Like with me, it's you know
We're gonna come back.
a little
Like
different.
we're gonna work on other things, and then you and me are
Oh,
gonna come back,
100%.
and you're gonna have a whole like company,
Hopefully.
and
At least
you
a few
will.
movies.
You will. The positive affirmations. You will. And I'll have some sort of acting career, hopefully. Um,
No,
and
you
we'll
will.
come back and we'll see, and we'll work together again and it'll be amazing.
Mhm.
Um, no, but yeah, I think the feeling you get like on a stage acting is just so different from film acting.
Mhm.
Because even when you're rehearsing, you're already performing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it always feels like you're performing for everybody else. When you're doing film stuff, like you're really it feels so much more real. Like this is just a situation. Like
Mhm.
you're kind of treating it like obviously you're acting a character, but like how you would act in real life. They always say in theater, like you're acting for the back of the theater,
Yeah.
Mr. Luca voice. And um so it's not if you're standing right beside me, it doesn't look realistic how you're acting. But when you're hearing the audience laugh, when you're hearing the audience like gasp, or if you just hear like complete silence, like they're fully listening to
Yeah.
you, it's amazing. And like I know you know how that feels like during like Giver, during spelling bee, we had lots of like scenes together during those two specifically.
Yeah,
He was my dad.
I did.
And that was
I
my father.
in the play The Giver, I played Saraya's father. Saraya played Jonas, the main character of The Giver, and I played her father.
Hmm. Yo, guys, his projection is crazy. Matthew Shoup's projection on stage is amazing. Learned everything I know about projection from Matthew Shoup. Let it be known. And even in spelling bee, you know how fun it was? Like our little it was my grade 12 year is yours last year. And our scenes, I was Schwartzy, Logan Schwartz and Grubinier, and you were Leaf Coney Bear.
Mhm.
And I loved like our little interactions. Like not everybody saw them. They were not that
Yeah.
important to like anything at all. But it was he had a sock puppet. Your sock puppet was amazing. Those interactions were like the best. And those like moments are just so good. I
Mhm.
love doing those things. So I think I do love film. It is fun. But I think it's just a completely different like rush of energy when you're on a stage performing versus going to a theater and sitting and then watching yourself, you know, as if, hypothetically working on a film and then I won't know how I'm doing until I see it.
Right.
Like you're on a film set, you do a scene and you're like, you get no reaction from anybody. You're like, was that good?
Mhm.
You don't want to go ask everybody, did I just do a good job for that scene? Because they're gonna be like, yeah, no, that was yeah, great. I was like, okay, I could not tell. Thank you though. Preach. But yeah, theater is probably the best feeling, but film is very fun too. And it's definitely something I want to expand upon and learn more about.
And AMDA is the perfect place to do that.
For real, it is. It's got everything, which is like crazy. And it's gonna tell me how there's like I don't remember what they call the class, but they don't just have like they're not just developing your skills. They also have like a class about like financial something about like how to
Okay.
like, really like the business side of it or like how to make sure you're
Mm,
financially stable in this kind of industry. And I was like, oh, I love that. Please
yeah.
tell me how to do this. That's amazing information. They're not just telling me how to like be better at actually doing the art, but how to get the jobs to perform the art, which is like, it's probably going to be a very crucial pieces of information,
Mhm.
which is
Yeah.
very exciting. So that's nice.
This might be a stupid question, but what does AMDA stand for?
It stands for American Musical and Dramatic Academy.
Cool. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. AMDA. Going to AMDA Los Angeles. And everyone's going to talk like that when I get there.
Are you gonna come back? Well, I mean, not come back, but are you gonna end up having a? You think you're gonna end up with a LA Valley Girl accent?
Oh my God. Probably. Maybe. I don't know. Actually, I don't know because I've been in a couple like quite a few like Zoom calls with them and
Mhm.
like you listen to other kids like asking questions, and just things like that. And there are people from literally everywhere. So I
Wow.
I think I'm gonna be around like not just people from LA. Like if I
Yeah.
go out into the world of LA, I'll probably, hear the, I don't know what you call it, the inflections or whatever, or like when you
Yeah.
talk or like the little bit of an accent. But like I was in a call the other day and there's a girl from where was it? It was like Russia or something, and there was a guy from Syria, and there was like everywhere. Or that was a girl from Finland, and then I think there was like someone from Toronto, like some other Canadians, like it's everywhere. And I was like, wow, that is actually really cool. British people, the Brits will be there. It's exciting, though. So that's what AMDA stands for.
Cool. All right. Well, Thank you so much, Saraya, for being on the show. It was always a pleasure to talk to you. And yeah, just thank you so much.
You're welcome. We're gracing you with my presence.
All right. All right, everybody. Remember that you can find us on every major podcast streaming service on Spotify, Apple Music, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, YouTube. Obviously, YouTube's where
Radio at Walmart.
everywhere. You can find us everywhere. And yeah, make sure to stay tuned for the next episode. But once again, thank you so much, Saraya, for coming on. And I'll see everybody next time.
Have a good day.